time to do a Proplica unboxing and comparison. I am very excited. Both of these Proplicas came out this year. One of them I actually picked up in Osaka, Japan earlier this year, and the other one I just got shipped. I kind of forgot to pre-order it, so I had to pay for the international shipping prices. Oops! But at least I got both of them. I don't know how I forgot to pre-order this thing, but I definitely did. It ended up coming out and I was like, did I get that? I have a spreadsheet. So I looked through my spreadsheet of like all these different items and I was like, apparently I never ordered that thing. So I had to get online and find somebody that had it in stock. And of course they sold it at a very expensive rate because it was in stock and not a pre-order straight from Japan. So I had to pay that extra pricing, but I got it. So today we have the Transformation Brooch and Disguise pen set, the Brilliant Color Edition. So this is the new version. I have the old one too that I'll compare it to. I also have the Proplica Moonstick Brilliant Color Edition. This one is also a newer version of a Proplica that came out several years ago. Let's first start with the Moonstick. Now this box got kind of screwed up when I came home from Japan. That's because it was in my luggage. It got squished. Yeah, it's fine. I was a little nervous. I didn't want anything to get destroyed other than the box, and yeah, the Moonstick looks fine itself, and that's the only thing that really matters here. I do want to mention that I really like the boxes that these come in. The Proplica Moonstick Brilliant Color Edition has this really beautiful holographic foil font. We also have some great imagery of the Moonstick all around. We got the Toei sticker on the front. We've got that Tamashii Nation's quality sticker, which is questionable. Their quality is questionable, especially with their figures. Their Proplicas are a little bit better though. And on the back, because I did purchase this in Japan, you will notice that there are no stickers. There's no warnings about small children eating items from, from the box. The Moonstick does come with a guide. This guide, of course, has a little bit of backstory about Sailor Moon, how she uses the Moonstick, and the Proplica itself. And on the interior we have directions. Most of these are written in Japanese, however they do have a section that is also written in English, which I very much appreciate. I can translate, but I can't translate super quickly, so I'm still learning my hiragana and katakana. I just learned about 19 kanji, which is more than I knew last year, but that's still a terribly small amount when you think about how many kanji are actually in the Japanese language. So yeah, I have a little ways to go. I probably know more kanji than that because you start recognizing kanji when you're like traveling around Japan, but that's all I can remember at the time. It looks like the Moonstick already comes with batteries pre-installed. In order to find the battery compartment, you just flip over your Moonstick and pull open the two sides of this compartment like so. Take out the little tab in order to use the pre-installed batteries and slip this right back on. Oh, it's already on. Okay, so we have two options down at the bottom. If you leave your Moonstick with this bottom rotation device in the center, that means that it's off. If you turn it over to the moon, this is the moon mode with dialogue. If you turn it to the star, that means you will have no dialogue. Like so. Now it also looks like the sounds will change whether or not you put in the legendary silver crystal. Oops. Shh. Quiet, ma'am. Okay, so in order to remove this gold piece from your Moonstick, oh, it looks like you press down on both of them. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so you press down on both of them and it kind of pops out. You can remove that and then put your legendary silver crystal inside. Now, which way does it go? Yeah, okay, so it just snaps into place. You'll know if you have it the right way because it'll snap directly into place. If it's not directly in there, then it won't slide in, so you'll have trouble actually popping it into place. Pretty much I used this flat side without a little notch at the bottom is going towards the top of the crescent moon. Easy. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we're on the moon mode right now, which includes dialogue. So with the moon mode, first we have the short press, which should be moon healing escalation. Look at the colors! love proplicas. That's so cool. Then we have the long press, which should be the queen version of moon healing escalation. Whoa, that's cool. That's so cool. Now, if I switch this to star mode, that should just be no dialogue. So this is like the cosplayer version. So I'm going to stop that and pause it because we've already heard it. Okay, so then we can switch over to the moon mode again. Now I'm going to remove the legendary silver crystal, put back in the gold piece of the crescent moon, just so we can hear the other options, the other dialogue. Now the illumination differs for each mode. That's what it says. So it looks like with this one, you actually have three different sounds. Two of those are moon healing escalation, one with dialogue, one without. There's also a monster detector and there's a bonus sound. So we're going to run through all of those. So first we have nothing on there. I'm going to switch to the star mode so we can hear this one. First I'll do the short press. Ooh. Look at the colors! That's so cool. Very neat. Okay. Then we have the long press, which is the monster detector. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. It turns red and it blinks. Am I a monster? No, I guess I'm not. Onto the moon mode. Short press for moon healing escalation. And then we have the long press, which is bonus sound, dialogue, no illumination. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That makes me so happy. I love that. That was so cool. I want to hear it again. That's so freaking cool. Oh, I love it. That makes me so happy. That's really awesome. So once you're done playing around with your moonstick, of course, take your batteries out if you're just going to display it. You don't want those batteries to bleed. You don't want that acid to mess up the interior electronics of your proplicas. I always remove mine before I turn them off and turn them into a part of my display. And I only put them back in there if I'm intending to use this as a prop, pretty much. So I'm going to turn this off for now. And I did want to show you it on its display. So this is what it looks like when you actually display it on the stand. The stand does not take up a lot of room, which is very nice. And you also have a place for your crystal. So cool. Oops. Sorry, Moonstick. The other thing you can do is pull the crystal out of the little gold stand that it's sitting on. It's just a little plastic piece that you pull straight out of. And you can set this inside of the Ginzuisho, like so. Oh, how pretty is that? Isn't that gorgeous? Now it is plasticky. It's not glass or anything fancy. But it is very pretty. It's very rainbowy. It kind of shimmers, so it looks really good. And when you're ready to go, you just take that out, stick it back on its gold stand, and you can put this in your moonstick. Very cool. Love that it comes with all the accessories. Now let's compare that to the old moonstick that came out ages ago in like, I don't know, 2016 or something. It's been a while. Here we have the old Ginzuisho and here we have the new one. The old one was more of a cloudy opalescent color and the new one is more of this clear opalescent color. So this one has more of like almost a stained glass effect, while this one looks more like, it's definitely more of an opaque color. This one is also built a little bit shorter than the original. Which one do you like better? I'm really curious about that. Now the other comparison we can make, the two stands are almost identical. However, there are a couple of changes on the newer one. The older one was just a plain plastic. So the newer one has this more opalescent sheen. And then we have the moon sticks. Now, I don't think I have batteries currently in my old one, although I think I need screws in order to actually open the battery compartment on this one. Yeah, I don't think I have batteries in here right now, so I can't show you the sounds, but I did want to point out the difference in the colors here. So the old one had more of a matte color, even though it was brighter pink. The new one has more of this opalescent vibe again to it. So you have this like almost a pearlescent finish to the handle, to that pink color, and it is a much lighter color, which is kind of funny since it's called the Brilliant Color Edition. The color itself is not a brilliant color. The hot pink almost feels like a more brilliant color, but I think the reason they call it that is because this one has more of a sheen to it, more of a shinier texture. Even the gold is a little bit different. The old crystal again has more of that cloudier color. The new one has more of the clearer color. And then we have the button placement, which is the same on both of them, but the color scheme overall on the new one is definitely more muted. Now, I know a lot of people have very, very specific preferences when it comes to the Proplicas that you can currently purchase. Some people love the newer versions, some people love the older versions. So I am curious, which one do you prefer of the two? When it comes to this moonstick, I kind of prefer the newer one because that pearlescent finish on the paint job makes it look a little bit nicer, a little bit better of a design. But overall, I really think you could just get one or the other. You don't need both of them. They're very, very similar. Okay, so the next item is, of course, the transformation brooch and pen set. Now this one I did end up purchasing from a retailer online, so this did ship to me here in the US. No issues there in terms of getting it shipped, which was great, and the person was an importer, so I don't believe this has any stickers on it, any additional stickers, since this is an original Japanese good. So let's go ahead and open this one. This one also has a guide, and here we have the items. All right, so those are a part of the stand. I think to remove the front of the brooch or the back of the brooch. We have the brooch itself and the crescent moon that it stands on. Okay, so here's the stand for the transformation. Here's the stand for the transformation brooch and disguise pen set. It's a set of 2 items. Again, this stand also has that pearlescent finish to the paint job, so it's shiny, but it's a little bit more matte than the previous Proplicas. So this one comes with 2 pieces. First we have the brooch, and then we have the transformation pen. So in this case, we have, of course, the description of these items. There's some historical information in here about the vintage toys that used to come out way back in the day. We have some imagery in here, as well as some information about what kind of actions you can do with this set. And then we have the how-to tutorial information on the back of this guide. So we set it all together. So here's the transformation brooch. In order to get to the battery compartment, you just pop off this back like so. You do need a screwdriver in order to replace the batteries, which are 3 LR44 batteries. Just going to remove that little tab there so that we can activate those batteries. We have 2 volumes here. It looks like 1 and 2. This is small sound. The 2 notches right there is large sound. So I'm going to move it to 1. Whew, which is still very loud. Yep, that's really loud. And this is going to be your mode selection switch right there, which you can access after you put the case back on the back. There we go. Okay, so we're ready to go with the transformation brooch. Then we have the pen right here. So this is an actual pen. You can actually use this as a pen. You just rotate this left and right to push it out or make it go back into its little placement there. There's some wax on there, so you would want to remove that if you use it. Okay, this one also has a battery compartment, which is found underneath here. So you pull that off right there. There is a reset button in case you have any issues. You can hit that button right there and a pull tab. So that's where your batteries go. Again, those are LR44 batteries. I'm gonna press that right back on. And I think we are good to go. So let's go ahead and try this out. Okay, so transformation mode is when you're only using the transformation brooch. So in order to use the transformation brooch, first we power it on, which we already did. So if we press this once, we should hear the transformation sound. Press it twice and we should hear the transformation sound with voice. I think that's mode A. That's really cool. So cool. I love that. Okay, so that was the... What was that? Okay, so this is appearance sound. And this is battle sound. So these are all like first season sounds. Very cool. Oh, and then it starts over. I'm going to try transformation sound with voice. There we go. There's the voice. Hold down to change modes. Hit it once for appearance sound, twice to appearance sound with voice. There she goes. So it sounds like you have to wait for the giggle in order to change it to the voice mode. Okay, I get it now. So you hold down once to switch between modes A, B, and C, and hold down again and wait for that giggle in order to get over to the voice mode. So there's the giggle. Hit it twice. There it is. That's cool. Okay, so if you want to use the transformation brooch by its own self, you can totally do that. However, you can also leave it on the display, pull out the transformation pen, and then this, you can point it at your transformation brooch and make it do other things. Okay, so first we turn it on. You know it's on when you're glowing. So the red gem up here at the top was glowing. I know it's on, it's ready to go. And we're going to switch the mode on the transformation brooch. So when you point this at the brooch and press the button, it should do something. Okay, for some reason, the button on mine was not activating to this new mode to be able to use the pen unless I took off the back cap. So this is the different noises that you'll hear. So that one is for just using the brooch. My button doesn't work. Remember when I said Tamashii quality is questionable? This is why. Because in my case, transformation brooch pen option doesn't seem to want to work with me. Or at least I can use the transformation brooch by itself. But I really wanted to demo using it with the pen too. It's weird because I got it to change once, but now it's not changing again. And you can hear the sound kind of stopping right there, which tells me that this button is not working like it should. Okay, so this is gonna sound really terrible, but I figured out a workaround so that I can show you the sounds. However, mine definitely has a defect. So the only way I'm able to get this to work is by holding down on this button and not letting go, which is very irritating, so that's cool. So what I'm going to do, since it's not working if I just leave it on the stand, is I'm gonna press down on this button. It's easier to do without the handle on there. So it's glowing right now, which is what it's supposed to do when you go into the pen mode. So now I have the pen and I can point this at the infrared sensor. That's what it's supposed to do. Okay, we're doing it. So now I can switch between these modes and show you the different disguise pen noises. So she should say that she's going to try to change into a musician, doctor, photographer, princess, bride, sailor, and reporter. There it goes. So cute. Hime, that's princess. It's working now! Yay! Oh, it's adorable. Yatta! That's so cute. Okay, so I think you get the sense of what happens when you use that mode. You can go between all those different sounds that Usagi is going to say whenever she's transforming into these different disguises. It's such a shame that we only saw those disguises really in like the first season, and then it didn't really happen after that, which I wish we could have seen more of that because those disguises were so funny. So now that we've seen the new transformation pen and brooch set, let's go ahead and look at the old one and compare with the classic. Now again, I don't keep the batteries in my products because I don't want them to get screwed up. So we're just going to compare the looks of these two items. So very similar to the Moonstick, the old one is this very shiny, creamy color. The new one has more of that pearlescent sheen to the finish, so you see a little bit more of a colorful detail there. The older brooch was more of a yellowish gold color, while the newer one has more of a muted gold color. I also noticed a little bit of a difference in the gemstones. These gemstones are circular. These ones have a design to them. So you can see that like octagonal shaping of those gemstones, while this one is just circular. I also noticed that the old gemstone in the middle is much more cloudy than the new one, which is way more shiny. The older one also has this notch up at the top, while the newer one does not. Now onto the pens. The pens are almost exactly the same, with the older pen having a slightly darker colored gemstone, and the pink is also darker. The new one has more of that matte pearlescent effect to the features, to the paint quality. So a little bit different there. And again, those gold colors are a little bit different too. This new one matches the brooch and this old one matches the old brooch. So you have more of a yellow gold on the older one, and the newer one has that more muted gold color. So again, this is one of those times when I would say you don't really need both of them. If you missed out on the original and you don't want to pay any kind of weird scalper prices, you could totally get the new one and you can barely notice a difference between them. I think the biggest difference for me would be those, oh my gosh, that freaked me out. I have a mirror next to me and I saw Sailor Mars behind me and I just saw like a head of black hair. And for a moment there, I was thinking The Ring. Have you seen that movie? Yeah, that freaked me out. Anyway, if you missed out on the original, you could definitely purchase the new one, and they're so similar to each other that looks-wise, you could get away with either of them. I think the only big difference is going to be those gemstones on the front. The new ones are just circular. They're spheres. So that's everything I wanted to cover with the new Brilliant Color Moonstick, as well as the Transformation Brooch and Disguise pen set. Whew, that's a lot to say. If you have any questions about these or other Proplicas on my channel, definitely check out my Proplica videos. I have a whole bunch of those. And you can also send me a DM over on Instagram. I'm Sailor Snubs. I'm always happy to answer questions there too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ja ne!